My parents keep insisting that I'm gay, and I'm getting tired of it. About a year ago, I overheard my parents talking about me when they thought that I wasn't around, and I was really surprised to hear that they think I'm gay. I got really angry at them. I know there's nothing wrong with being gay, but I got angry because I've been bullied at school because people think I'm gay for years, and to hear my parents agreeing with the bullies just made me really angry. My parents weren't being mean or anything, I was just really tired of people thinking I'm gay. Anyway, I got really angry at them, but they never apologized or anything. They just said that they want me to be happy and love me no matter what. I decided I should try to get a girlfriend because I was tired of everyone thinking I was gay. I never really tried to get a girlfriend before because I barely have time to hang out with my friends because of school and work, so I didn't really have time for a girlfriend. But I found a girl that I actually really liked, and she was cool with me not having so much time for her, so it was a perfect match. When I started dating her, my parents again gave me the whole "we love you no matter what" speech, and it just infuriated me that they still thought I was gay. The bullying at school got worse after I started dating her, but I thought that after some time, they'd get bored now that I have a girlfriend, and they would stop. I was wrong, and it just kept getting worse, and my girlfriend started to notice it too. I never told anyone about the bullying because nothing can really fix it, so telling my parents or a teacher would just make things worse. We dated for about 6 months, and then she got tired of dating a loser who got bullied almost every day, and she broke up with me. And again, my parents gave me the "we love you no matter what" speech. I don't really care if people think I'm gay, but it's very annoying that my own parents keep giving me the same "we think you're gay" speech, and won't listen to me when I've told them I'm not gay. The bullies I just have to deal with until I'm finished with school here, but I wish my parents would stop. I don't really know why everyone thinks I'm gay. I don't feel like I give off those vibes, but apparently I do. And now in the comments, do you have a close friend that you could talk to that would tell you honestly why people think you are gay? I've known several men that aren't exactly masculine, but they aren't gay. Just their mannerisms and attention to detail that isn't, "I am all that is man." Nothing wrong with that. Imagine how boring this world would be if everybody was the same. As for the bullying, can you talk to your counselor there about this? Bullying is unacceptable in any circumstances, and the school should be made aware of it. Tell your parents that you appreciate their support, but you are not gay, and to back off about it. Stay strong. You are 18, so probably not much longer in school, and it gets so much better after high school. And OP responds, "Reading this made me anxious. I'm not sure if I want to know. I wouldn't call myself masculine, but I don't think I'm effeminate or anything like that. I don't dress fancy or anything. I've heard my voice recorded, and I don't have a gay voice either." And edit, "I never thought about asking my friends, but now I feel like I need to know. I'm texting my friend asking him. There must be something I do that makes everyone think I'm gay." And here is that response. Dude, are you sure you want an honest answer? Okay, here we go. The thing is, you never seem interested in girls. You never talk about them, and you never look at them. Even when you dated Sarah, not her real name, it didn't really look like you were dating. I never saw you kiss her once, and you dated for like a year. You seemed like friends who held hands once in a while. You seem way more interested in guys than girls. Like, when hot guys are around, you stare at them, and if they talk to you, you get all weird and flustered. You don't really do it at school that much anymore, but you used to. And when Sarah broke up with you, she said some stuff about that you might have made things worse. I think that's the reason some people might think you're gay, but I don't care about stuff like that, dude. If you say you're straight, I believe you, and if you were gay, that would be cool too. And OP says, "So yeah, I'm a bit shocked I wasn't aware that I did that." So am I right in thinking that your parents want to support you, but in doing that are actually affirming the bullying? Because for parents to sit you down and say that they love you no matter what, makes me think that they would genuinely have no idea that they are making it worse for you. I think you're going to have to tell them. Could you sit them down and explain to them how they are making you feel? In particular, that you feel like they are complicit with your bullying. You'll also have to tell them, for what is, I imagine, the 100th time, that you are not gay, and that their constant speculation as to your sexuality is demeaning and hurtful. It actually doesn't matter if you are or not. Constantly questioning your sexuality is incredibly invasive, even if dressed up in the guise of support. Then, give them some advice on how you would like them to support you. As in, thanks for your concern, but I'm cool. Can you do XYZ instead? So that they know more about what you want and what they can do to actually help. Hopefully, if they genuinely love and want to support you, they'll realize they've been getting it arse about. Good luck. And OP says, I don't really want to tell them about the bullying because I'm worried that they'll see it as a sign that they are in the right, thinking that I'm gay. And honestly, I'm really embarrassed about it. I try not to let it bother me, but it's been going on for so long that I'm getting really sick of it. And OP says, I think I'm being downvoted because I don't want to tell anyone about the bullying, but there is no point. Nothing will change, and it might even make it worse. Well, of course you're sick of it. It's horrible, and it's been going on for so long. But again, your parents are accidentally adding to it without realizing, and so I wonder if bringing it to their attention will bring you some comfort down the line. Is there a way that you can talk to them about it without mentioning the bullying? You could also allude to it being painful without going into why, because it should be pretty bloody obvious. The important thing is the conversation needs to happen in some form that you feel genuinely supported and can get some emotional respite from the myriad of bullcrap that you are going through otherwise. And OP says, I guess I've never sat down with them and really explained how much it bothers me. I just sort of explode and leave, and I understand how that can make it seem as if I'm actually gay. And now on to the update. My first post left me very confused. I had a hard time believing it was possible to be that in denial about my own sexuality. I honestly considered deleting my post and trying to forget about it because it made me so uncomfortable. I didn't delete it, but tried not to think about it and just focused on what I was going to do about the bullying. It didn't really work though, and a couple of days later I was hanging out with my friend, who was the guy that I asked why everyone thought I was gay, and he asked me about it, and I sort of had a meltdown. I told him I was confused about everything, and that I wasn't sure anymore if I was straight, and that his texts and your comments had really screwed with my head. He was great though, and managed to calm me down. I felt a lot better after talking to him about it, and when I got home, I read your comments again, and this commenter's comment, considering your edit, you might want to engage in some self-reflection about who you're actually attracted to. I can completely understand why they think you are gay, and this isn't about engaging in stereotypes. This is about other people noticing signs in you of arousal and interest. You don't need to tell me these things, but think about them for yourself. What do you think about when you masturbate? Do you get aroused around girls or guys? Who are you drawn to? Where does your energy focus? Pay attention to how you feel and how your body responds when you interact with each sex. When you kissed your girlfriend, was it super exciting and physically arousing? How do you feel if you imagine kissing a girl? What if you imagine kissing a guy? To which did your body respond? Maybe both? And also, don't discount the possibility of being asexual or demisexual but homo-romantic, or possibly hetero-romantic. That could make things more difficult to figure out. The first time I read this comment, it literally made me feel sick, and the second time, it made me feel sick as well. That night, I actually took her advice though, and for the first time in my life, I actually imagined what it would be like to kiss a guy, and I'm definitely not straight. I'm not sure if I'm bi or gay, but I'm not straight. I've done a lot of reading and exploring after that night, and it's been difficult to accept it, but I feel like I've come a long way in a short time. I still think it's weird that I was that deep in denial about it though. My whole life I was 100% sure I was straight, and then now I am 100% sure I am not straight. It's weird. I told my friend about it a few days ago, and he was awesome about it. I knew he would be okay with it, but I was still nervous. I haven't told my parents yet, and I'll probably wait until I have it more figured out. I haven't decided what to do about the bullying though. I feel like it won't bother me as much anymore, and maybe if they see that I don't really care, they'll get bored of it. I just hope it doesn't get worse. I just wanted to update you guys and thank you for your advice and comments. It literally changed my life, and I'm not sure how long I would have kept living in denial if it weren't for you guys. So thank you. And now in the comments, for the record, considering your experiences with bullying, I don't find it strange at all that you didn't notice your true sexuality. Gay has been used as a slur against you, and few people want to associate themselves with a slur, even if you personally have nothing against gay people. It's as if you tried to distance yourself from the bullying by telling yourself that what they said wasn't true. That is a defense mechanism and very natural to develop in situations like yours. But good on you for being mature enough to take a long hard look at yourself and learn something new. That's a hard thing to do. And OP replies, that's a good point. I'm also really stubborn, so when the bullying started, it just made me more convinced that I was straight because I didn't want them to be right. Reading the comments in this thread has made me feel better too. Apparently it's more normal to be in denial about your sexuality than I thought. The trick with this type is, you can't tell them before they know, lol. I'm a queer person. Have had many friends I knew who were also queer people, but they didn't know yet. They eventually do, but they have an easier time when they work it out on their own time than when everyone harasses them. What an incredibly insightful and helpful answer OP's friend gave. The friend gave a gentle response that must have really helped. FYI, the OP's last post reads, multiple orgasms from bottoming. Is this possible? So we can safely assume they figured out a bit more about themselves. A generation or so ago, OP would have married a Sarah and had a probably very unsatisfactory sex life on both sides, until probably later in life, things fell apart and his whole family got shattered when he finally realized his true orientation. Thank God people are more aware of this at an earlier stage in their lives these days. That's my grandpa. 3 failed marriages, and now he finally has a boyfriend. Although it's perhaps a good thing from your perspective, as in your existence, that he didn't realize earlier. This reminds me of my parents. Literally anytime I told them there was something important I wanted to talk to them about, be it bullying or I'm feeling sick, or even when I thought about suicide, the first thing they'd say without fail every single time was, "It's okay, we know you're gay, we love you anyway," before I could even say what I was trying to talk to them about. Eventually, I realized I wasn't completely straight and thought I was bi, and when I came out, they told me I was just saying that for attention and they knew I was really straight. Now I identify as pansexual, and no one but my wife knows that I've ever been with a man. Our next post is titled, Am I the asshole for cancelling my daughter's birthday and making her call her classmates to explain why? So here is the situation. My daughter Abby just turned 11 and was supposed to have a birthday party last month with the girls in her class. She's autistic and has ADHD that we haven't found the right treatment for. So she struggles to make friends, and this would have been the first non-family party that she has had. In the last few months, Abby went to 2 other birthday parties where the whole class was invited, which is why she asked to have a larger friend party this year in our backyard. Unfortunately, because of the timing, Taylor, her best friend, wouldn't be able to make it because her family was out of town. The day before the party, I was letting Abby use my phone to give her classmates the time and location information, and I overheard this exchange. The other girl says, "Is Taylor going to be there?" And Abby says, "No, she's lame and can't come." I sternly told Abby to hang up and explain herself. She tried to tell me that she wasn't serious, but I thought it was incredibly mean to call her only friend lame and felt like she was behaving horribly. She insisted that it was just a joke and wouldn't agree when I told her that Taylor would be heartbroken if she heard Abby call her lame. I felt that she didn't deserve to have a party if she couldn't cherish her friend and decided to teach her a lesson. I made her call all 12 girls that were invited, including the ones that she already called to tell the information, and explain to them that there wasn't going to be a party after all, because she was being punished for saying something rude about Taylor. She was appropriately embarrassed and cried a lot, and I think definitely learned her lesson. So I felt like this was done and dusted, but Taylor came over last weekend for a sleepover, and I talked to her mum for a bit at drop-off. She told me she heard about what happened because the other parents had been discussing my punishment and thought it was too harsh, and insinuated that I should go easier on Abby because she was a sweet and sensitive kid. I wasn't expecting this, so I brushed it off until she left, but got annoyed that the other parents are judging me for my actions when my kid did something that was not sweet or sensitive. When Taylor's mother returned to pick her daughter up, she again laid it on thick how much Taylor liked Abby and how she was glad they were friends. And I said, yep, and now Abby knows to treat her friends well and not take them for granted. It got awkward when Taylor's mum kept gushing about Abby and low-key implying that she didn't deserve to be punished. And I snapped back, well, I guess you and everyone else knows how to parent better than I do. I am still seething over this, and I want to know if my actions with Abby and with Taylor's mum were warranted, because I feel like everyone else is taking crazy pills. Now in the comments, you're the asshole, major one too, like massive. Your daughter is already struggling to fit into social situations, and her neurological disorders could be the cause of why she thinks such raw humor is acceptable. And beside the fact that you think it's inappropriate to joke like that, have you ever considered that Abby was in fact being honest, and saying that light-hearted insults is the way it is between her and Taylor? You jumped onto a conclusion that is based around your comfort and boundaries with jokes. And how is that punishment relevant to what you assume to be hurtful? Yeah, I cancelled my socially struggling daughter's first real party because I took offense on someone's behalf that wasn't even there. I truly have to say that this is the second time I've read something so obviously a-hole-like of OP on this sub, and I'm sitting here writing this with absolute disgust on how some people will lie to you by saying you were not the asshole. You humiliated your daughter, ruined her first experience being seen by everyone, and probably ruined the trust she had left in you. Just please take one look outside of your own perspective. You were so cruel. Even parents outside of your family had to jump into defense for your own daughter. I hope you read this whole thing, twice as well. And edit, I just want to say that I'm very grateful that people are on the same page as me. I truly was worried that people would defend such cruelty. It's a good day to see some humanity in this world. I'm a psychologist who works with kids with disabilities. Have you got any idea how hard it is for most kids on the spectrum to make friends and be accepted by their peers? This party was a milestone, and not only OP took it away from her, but she humiliated her as well. Honestly, if I were her child's therapist, I'd consider this a warning sign and pay attention to her behavior towards her daughter. And what's interesting is the daughter is doing better socially than the mum. She's being lame is a common good-natured dig when someone can't hang out. The mum missed this social cue by about 10,000 feet. You're the asshole. Do you have zero knowledge of kids this age? They all call each other weird names. Lame? Nope. No one would bat an eye. You miss someone's birthday party? They will kiddingly use this terminology. You went so far past the line, it's unbelievable. I called a good friend of mine lame for not being able to make it to my birthday party, almost basically the same way that that kid did. No one got offended, because clearly it was said in jest. I can't imagine being ostracized for saying it. Exactly. When I was a kid, we always said someone was lame for not coming. It was an expression that really meant, we wish you would come, but we're gonna call you lame to rag on you to divert our gushy friend feelings. And now back to the post, there is an edit. I have said in multiple DMs, but I will say here as well, that I was wrong and I am disgusted with myself. I will clear up that Abby does go to weekly therapy, but we haven't seen a psychologist or done family therapy since she was 8. I was also suspected of having ADD as a child, but my parents didn't do much to investigate after one type of medication failed to help, so I don't think about it that much and don't know if that's relevant. I sat with Abby after supper and apologized for my actions and enforced that she's a good kid and a great friend to Taylor. She started tearing up and told me that she was hurt that the other girl asked about Taylor because apparently some kids said they wouldn't go since Taylor wasn't. Abby felt guilty because while she was just joking about Taylor being lame, she was hurt that they liked Taylor and not her. I hadn't even considered this, and I'm heartbroken for her that I kicked her when she was down. She is a sweet and sensitive girl, and I'm very lucky she forgave me. I will be looking into family therapy and connecting with the school to fix this, and I told Abby she has a week to decide how and with who she wanted to celebrate a belated birthday. Thanks to everyone who advocated for my daughter when I failed her. And now onto the update. When I posted this, I did not expect for it to get more than 50 comments, so when it did, I was blown away and honestly overwhelmed. Some people called this story out for being fake, and the funny thing is that it kind of was and wasn't. I'm Abby, fake name, not Abby's mum, and the day I posted this story, I'd been thinking about some not-so-cool experiences from my childhood and was kind of ruminating on this one. This was maybe the second time I remember being traumatized by my mum, but the first one I remember all the details clearly. I was pretty sure she screwed up doing this, but all parents F up their kids sometimes, right? And I had said something mean about my friend, though I don't remember if I said Taylor sucked or was lame, so from her perspective, I deserved to be punished. The way I typed the story was exactly what happened, right down to her making me call every girl in my class. I still remember the script I had to read. Hi, blank. I'm calling to tell you that I'm not allowed to have a birthday party because I said something mean about a friend. Sorry, bye. And after every call, I put my head down on the table and wept, full snot rockets and everything, while my mom typed the next number into the phone and put it in my hand. It has been over 10 years, to keep timing vague, and I still hate my birthday and have never had a successful friend party. I do have friends, I just can't do parties. The only part of the public story that wasn't true was the updates. The catharsis I felt through people agreeing with me was great, but everyone saying schedule her another party or apologize to her right now made me a little sad because my mum literally never brought it up again. So I tried to get some sense of peace from the whole ordeal by pretending she did the right thing, and it honestly worked in the sense that I can think of that day without crying. So anyways, I posted the story seeking validation, or therapy, or at least trying to gain perspective from her side, and I'm sorry to have misled the 1.6 million people who saw this post, and the people who read it on Facebook and Instagram, I think. I was floored by the amount of people who understood me, a weird little girl they had never met, more than my own mother ever did. You understood that I was mirroring my peers, having a really hard time making friends, and hurt that no matter how hard I tried, people just didn't like me. I cried so many times writing the original post and answering comments as Abby's mum, parroting things she said back then, or things I've heard her say now when she remembers my childhood. She was twisted and abusive, no matter how much she claimed she was trying to help me. And a special sorry to the people who messaged me with long personal stories or advice. I was really moved that you would share something so raw in an attempt to get some ignorant mum to understand. I was so grateful that there were professionals out there willing to put aside time to help kids they had never met. I tried to answer so you wouldn't feel like your effort was wasted, but I felt and feel horrible about lying, and it was resting heavy on my heart. Damn my autistic need to abide to the rules. Anyways, lots of people also messaged worried about Abby's well-being, so I wanted to say I am doing fine. I did move out of my parents' house as soon as I could, went to university, and graduated with a degree in something I love. I am finally medicated for ADHD, and I'm engaged to the kindest, most understanding man who is fiercely protective of me when it comes to my mum. I still need therapy, but I promise I'm working on it, and my next attempt will not involve lying on the internet, because holy crap did this get out of control. And now in the comments, well, that's a plot twist I didn't see coming. It's good to see Abby getting the validation she deserves, and knowing she is doing better. Mums like her don't care if they're helping their kids, they just want to be right. Yeah, I remember this post, and I was just so glad that the mum saw the error of her ways. This update is half heartbreaking, but I'm glad she got out. Damn, fuck OP's mum. I don't have kids, and even I could see that. 1. OP was trying to appear cool and was just joking, like grown-ass adults do. 2. As much as OP was trying to appear to be her mum, and I bought it, anyone can read between the lines why the kids wanted to know if Taylor was going to be there. 3. That crap is borderline abuse. Also, kudos to Taylor's mum for standing up for OP. I literally call my best friends lame to their faces because we are friends and are only joking around. What a horrific situation for Abby to go through. Exactly. For someone on the spectrum or with ADHD, it can be difficult enough to fit in, especially with the kind of teasing humor NT people tend to use. This will probably affect her confidence in her humor for years to come. This is heartbreaking. OP's mum lacks compassion and understanding. OP was hurt and just said something stupid. But it could have been a joke for all her mum knew. My cousins and I are all adults. We'll boo each other for not being able to attend an event. You're going to the Bahamas instead of going bowling? Boo, you're so lame. It's a loving joke. Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end today's stories. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, let me know what you thought of it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.